Okay, cool. So I've loaded up most of what I think is Nicoline stuff that we're done with. Okay. I'm just quickly going to give some general feedback. Let's start over here. This one's easy. Okay, so I like the image that we have. That's cool. It feels very rough for a mug. So basically nothing serious that I want to do, but firstly your metallic's not doing anything, so we may as well just leave it out so we don't have to load it into the RAM when you're rendering. That's also not doing anything. Your normal map's also doing not much, I don't think, which it shouldn't need to, so I think all of those can go out. So I think basically all we need to do is just have the color into our principal shader. And the only thing I think we need to change is drop the roughness. Maybe a little bit, like 1. You know, it's ceramic, so it is going to be quite shiny. And then if we want to, I mean, we can just bump up the subsurf a little bit, just to get it to feel a bit more like ceramic. I think even that's fine. So just to check. If we turn this off and just add a random area light just to see. Okay, that's great. And then just turn up the intensity of that. Yeah, so we're just going to get a little bit of rim there. Even half of that. So it's not going to be super obvious, but I think it will be noticeable. Okay, so already there. It's more on the front, so there where it gets thin, it just lightens up. Okay, so that one I think is just a small tweak over there. Okay, let's go to the next one. Dustbin should be too hectic. Okay, so again, the textures that you've painted are quite nice. I would, however, see if you can export. Just check. I'm never gonna have a close-up of it in any case. Maybe just a 2K map, just in case, just so it doesn't pixelate. But anyway, I think otherwise it should be fine. Not feeling very plasticky. It feels very rough. It feels like there's no specular, which is going to happen from that. So I think, again, you can get rid of the metallic. It's not doing anything. This should be doing something, I hope. Let's just see. Subtly. I think it should be doing something. Let's just see if we turn that off. Not very much. Okay. But otherwise, I think we can just use this image that you've made already as your roughness map. So if you do that, so only those real roughy bits need be non-shiny. I mean, it's still a plastic thing. So if you plug that into our roughness, okay, see, yeah, so we still get some plastic. Okay, now again, the thing with plastic, just going to add another area light again. Light shines through. So either it needs subsurf or it needs translucency. So if we turn that off, just bump that up quite a bit. Okay, your normals are doing something funny to the actual normals. It's making those little blocks. It's doing it in your texture as well. I don't know if it's this thing's fault. It doesn't look like it. Just add a new. Oh, it's definitely that thing's fault. Still not. Let's just add a new normal map node. See what that does. Color. There we go. That's better. It's weird that it's green, but anyway, let's see. A little bit strong, and it'll be subtle. Okay, anyway, so plastic dustbin, right? plug that into there again. See, it looks also maybe like this texture is stretching, and it's maybe also a little bit too rough. Like, I like those bits. But anyway, so it needs to do that, and then it either, as I said, needs, I don't know which one's better. But for instance, if you do that and mix these two together, sorry, my contact lens bugging me. Sorry, not mix it, add it on top. So take an add shader, plug that in there, and that in there. Okay, so clearly that's not what we want, right? But then we just drop the color of this to be a subtle gray. See, so there we're starting to get what it is that we need. But I think, you know, those are cool. That feels pixelated. Okay. I mean, even over there, let's turn this back on and see. Yeah, somewhat rather. It feels a little pixelated. I think those you can, I'd take that layer off. Like, these are cool, but the rest are a little intense. So as I was saying, you could either use that, or you can just bump this up a tiny bit. So we start to get the feel of, you know, light shining through the surface. You know, I don't want to go that crazy. That's why I think that one's a better option. Okay, there, just that little bit over there. I just want to see. You know, it'd be nice to get a nice little plasticky specular. I think, yeah. So I think just that bit of your texture, it feels also like it's stretched, the noise. Maybe. And there's a very definite line over there, which I'm not sure of. And then this thing I think will be fine. I think, again, we can get rid of that. That's not necessary. Normal map, non-color. All your normal maps must be non-color data. Okay. That's fine. Then I think, again, roughness-wise, maybe make this less. Plastic shiny. Plastic definitely has nice speculars on it. And again, use that with a color amp. See, that's anyway black and white image for a roughness maybe. So I think it's just tweaking your shade a little bit further. Already that looks a bit nicer. Just getting some speculars on it. Our whole scene's very rough. So I think the whole thing needs a little bit of speculars here and there. If that's too much, we can move this up a little. That maybe. Okay, so I think that'll help. And then just check that texture out. Cool, next one. I'm trying to go through these a little bit quicker because it's taken me literally all week and I've done like nothing. Okay, transformer. So here's a specific thing that I want to show you. So also, let me just add in another air light. Oops, don't scale it because that's cheating. Do that. Okay, and turn this off just for now. Okay, so your you've got a couple materials on there. Whoa, that's a lot. Okay, so let's just look at the red and the blue. So I'm guessing the red's the one with the biggest issue at the moment. So it's like translucent. Okay, so it's very, it looks like jelly almost. Okay, so let's drop that a lot. Okay, and then there's, I can have a little bit. I'm a super subsurface fan, so don't get me wrong on that. Even that. Okay, now your roughness seems cool, maybe a little bit less. And then, already that's helped with the edges, but what I want to show you is this very, very, very nifty bevel node. If you plug that directly into your, I don't know if you actually need a normal in it. If you need to say geometry and plug the normal in, I don't know if that did anything. But then over here, if you make that a lot smaller, you see it bevels, or it renders out a bevel on your sharp edges. So with all these things, we're actually putting a bevel on doesn't work. And then just make the samples as many as you can. I think that's great. See, I don't think you don't need that. Okay, which already makes a massive difference. Okay, so it'll really just polish the whole thing off a bit. So specifically, let's look at your blue. Okay, your noise, rather have your noise go into a color ramp or use the factor, but the color ramp gives you some control over it. And then you can see your noise is stretching, right? So I think there, it should have UV since you've, and then that way you can also control it a little bit better. Not that it's super necessary, but you see it's kind of, you know, you can see the pattern. I think something like that would maybe be a bit better, but then this is going to make a huge difference as well. Okay, so there you can see immediately just the difference between that and that. Pretty cool. This one can be a little bit smoother. Okay, so also, you know what, I don't even know if that's necessary. Let's roll with the plastic. Or put it in and then just drop the white so it's not all the way rough. You know, so it has some effect. You can maybe push that up again. I think that's a big. I think that'll be cool. But that bevel modifier is going to work wonders for you there. Cans. I don't know. The rest is okay. It looks like rough plastic. It was just those two that mainly bugged me. So I think that's cool. But the blue also needs to be subsurfed. Yeah. You can't just subsurf the one. Okay, cool. Save. Next one. Okay, the trophies. The trophies, some of them feel a little unfinished, specifically that one. This one looks great. I think that one's fine as it is. That one's okay. This one feels a little rough as well. So the fact that we can see all the polygons there is not great. And then these two, they don't feel like ribbons. They feel like paper. Okay, so there we need to get a nice ribbon texture to go and, you know, make that feel like a ribbon. It needs to look real. So as I was saying, that one's fine. What is this even doing? I don't think it needs a bump. It's metal. I didn't even think it needs that. It would just be black. Ugh, just be fully metallic. and then less shiny. It'll be like a chrome thing, yeah. So that's awesome. Okay, really sorry. I don't think we need any of those. I think it can really be. Okay. To be honest, it fixes that as well. Because you've applied the same thing to all of them, regardless of the UVs. So you've got weird things happening. So I don't think that's necessary. These can just be shaded. They're going to be in the background. They don't need texture maps. Fewer texture maps we have, the better as well. The bases, yeah, they're fine. I think if you really want to go and be fancy, you can add his name and Science Geek of the Year or whatever. So I think that's better. This one, I would do the same as those. So your normal map is creating all of those weird polygons, I think. I'm lying. No, it's better. So it wasn't the normal. But something still is. Let me just... Normal map. Oh, sorry, I forget. It's these. Your normal maps need to be set to non-color. Okay, that's better. But again, I wouldn't have the whole thing just be one material. So the plinth can be nice, and I mean, we've got a couple other ones. So these, you know, let's go and say the bottom significant portion is just good old plain black. You know, sign, shiny black, plinthy kind of thing with very little roughness and very specular. Contrast. I mean, that's already better. Then I'd say that's fine. The roughness is a little too rough though. So here, it's not the roughness. Is it just is it this? Yeah, I don't think that's necessary. I think that looks better already. We need speculars. We need speculars. The scene's going to look dead without speculars. Okay, so these I think you need to find a nice little fabric kind of thing. So these, I'm assuming nothing really is happening over there. Hello? Wrong number. I didn't order Debonairs. No, it's not for me. Thank you. So it's working up there, but not necessarily over there. Okay. Also, nothing there is going to be metallic, so you can get rid of that. The roughness is just very irregular. I'd work with that. Okay, and then it'll be rough, but not super rough. It'll be somewhat shiny. You know, even leaving it like that, it's not terrible. And then these definitely need some love so that they feel like ribbons. Okay, likewise. Okay, but already that's much better. Speculators. Cool. I think is that all of them? Yes. Yeah, we did all these. Okay, cool. That's great. I think that was all of your scenes that you uploaded. So, yeah, cool. Don't be scared of cycles. I know Substance is nice and convenient because they have base textures and the images built into it, but you can do exactly the same and have more control by using... Oh, the pizza. I didn't look at your pizza. Let's look at your pizza quickly before I have to go. So this looked cool. I just think the model can still, like there, that's nice. You know, I think, you know, we're never going to see a close-up, but the thing we may want to change later on, just put a pizza logo on the box. You know, it's going to be like that far away, you know, in which case I think the model can change a little bit so that that edge is round because it would have melted It wouldn't be so sharp. But I think it's fine for the background. The box can be, as I said, just have a pizza logo on it or something. But it's cool. Yeah, no issues there. Cool, in which case I think we are done. Let me just see, I've gone through all of your stuff. Went through the trophies, went through the trash can, went through the transformer, went through your pizza, went through your mug. We spoke about your Cody the other day. In the bookcase, you and Brady did it, so I commented on his. Just because he did all of them. Okay, cool, thanks, done. Let's stop this one.